I hope you fail again. And again. And keep failing.
This DVD cost me 50p at a boot sale. And by looking at this box, you're probably thinking I paid 50p too much. You're looking at this chewed up DVD case where they couldn't even spell the name of their own movie correctly, and thinking you wouldn't buy this if it came with a free hand job. Well, for me it did come with a free hand job because the guy was just so thankful that I even gave his table of goods the time of day. For those of you able to maintain eye contact with this ugly Medusa's head of a DVD case, you'll have noticed that there are 2 movies featured on the box. But today we're only going to go through the plot of Ninja to Terminator. If at the end of the episode you tell me that you want more crappy ninja movies, we'll cover Ninja Squad 2 in a future Plot Holes episode. But until then...
Greetings to our master. Today is the 20th anniversary of our ninja empire. As our top fighters, you're here to witness the empire's supreme power.
Jesus Christ.
Master. Supreme Ninja.
You might not believe me, but that was 100% natural laughter. And definitely not laughter because I'm scared about the prospect of trying to explain what the hell is happening on screen for your entertainment. But I will give it all of my effort in trying to explain all of this. No wait, scratch that. I'll give you 50p's worth of my effort, and not a penny more. Jokes aside, I would place money on Ninja to Terminator being a movie you've never seen before. And so here we have an opportunity for you to become one of the small percentage of people whose eyes have ever gazed upon this art piece.
Listen to me.
The basic premise of Ninja to Terminator is that we have 3 ninjas who are dressed in weirdly coloured pyjamas, and these ninjas have each stolen a piece of a statue from their sensei or whoever this guy is. The reason they've stolen this statue is because this statue has mystical powers, and the owner of the statue, once all of the parts are back together, will be granted access to high-level ninja shit. So naturally, once these 3 guys have stolen a piece of the statue for themselves, they seek out to stab each other to death until there's only one ninja left standing. In the meantime, the sensei of whom they stole the statue from is kind of pissed off about the situation. So he sends out some mafia dudes to go and get the pieces back from each of the ninjas. There's also another guy who comes into the story, but I'll explain his character and why he's part of the story later on. Alright, let's slice into some action. So the actual story starts with this opening ceremony that I showed you at the start of this video. And as we can see, these 3 ninjas don't much like being laughed at by this dick in red. Dick in red? This dickhead who's wearing red. This guy's laughing because he thinks he's the bee's knees just because he has access to this statue's power. As these 3 ninjas betray their sensei and each take a piece of the statue, the film introduces us to the name of each of these guys.
Master, the Golden Ninja Warrior is gone.
What's that? Who did it?
Harry, Baron, and Tomashi, they killed all the guards and they got away.
What's that? Who did it? Harry, Baron, and Tomashi, they killed all the guards and they got away.
But just like any good action movie, you only need to keep an eye on the guy with the moustache. This guy Harry, he's our main guy. He's super badass and cool because he can cut through a watermelon. Oh. Wow, what a badass. He cut that fruit like it was a piece of fruit. The The story jumps to 2 years later after the theft of the statue, and somehow Tomashi has obtained the other pieces from the other ninjas. But he gets killed off while attempting to perform the ritual which would have given him this ultimate power. I think it's either a ritual he's performing here or the acid is finally starting to hit. At Tomashi's funeral, we are introduced to his sister Machiko, and also a Japanese version of Elmer Fudd.
Machiko, my sister, don't worry. We'll always remember Tomashi as the wonderful person and brother that he was to us.
Be very, very quiet. I'm hunting rabbits.
It seems so strange. This whole thing is damn suspicious.
Anyway, Elmer feels compelled to uncover the truth behind Tomashi's death, unknowing of the ninja lifestyle that led him to the grave. Now this scene is very important because it sets up our expectations for the brilliant camera work that we're going to be subjected to for the whole movie. There's so many scenes where the DP's clearly been drinking on the job. There's things that should be in the shot and they're out of the shot. For example, check this shit out. I'm not sure how you can fuck up getting a single sign in a shot. Even a toddler with a smartphone would know just to stand back a little bit to get the whole sign in the shot. The next scene takes us to some Yakuza Mafia type headquarters. There's a big boss man who wants the statue all for himself, and he suspects the statue was passed down to Machiko upon Tomashi's death. So Big Boss Man orders his blonde babe second in command to send out a crew and steal it for him. For future reference, we'll name this guy Mia, because he looks like Mia from Pulp Fiction. To set up the next scene, and that's the only reason why this happens, Elmer Fudd and Machiko get out of their car to enjoy a lovely view of dust, a dusty road.
Hey, Ricardo, let's get out here and check the view.
Ah, great idea.
Within a matter of minutes, Elmer is terminated by Mia's gang. This would be a good opportunity to kidnap Machiko, but for some reason they let her slip away and she reappears again later in the movie. Well, whatever, this movie's already moved on to the next scene, and we now have Harry doing some ridiculous ninja nonsense. This shit's on par with the Step Brothers karate in the garage scene. Only difference being, this scene isn't meant to be taken as a joke. We're supposed to look at this and think, oh hell yeah, that's fucking awesome bro. After his intense ninja training, Harry is home talking to his wife about a special meal she's preparing for him.
What are we eating tonight, darling?
It's your favorite dish.
Steamed crabs?
No, this time I'm preparing a really special dish, something called
My pussy.
but I know you're gonna love it.
What is that?
Hang on in there, you'll find out. It's your favorite dish.
Just fucking why? Why would you kill a crab in such a brutal way? You bizarre, hairy-lipped bastard. Crabs are my third favourite animal, behind octopus and my cat Willow. Oh, look at Willow, she's chasing a balloon. Isn't that adorable? Alright, let's go back to the story. So in this scene we see Harry having a phone conversation with a guy named Jaguar. He's the chewing gum guy I mentioned earlier. And for some reason Jaguar's helping Harry find the statue. As we can see here, Harry is using the Garfield phone for this very important phone call. A phone call about murder and mystery solving. So this movie now follows Jaguar on a series of kung fu / ninja, whatever this is supposed to be, fight scenes. There's almost too many of these ninja fight scenes, but there is a saving grace, which is the choreography. There's this fight move here which involves a baseball, and I think it's creative, but not in an over-the-top, crouching tiger, hidden dragon kind of shit way. I was pretty happy watching these fight scenes until I started not loving it upon developing a migraine. A migraine which is almost inevitable after hearing the same punch sound effect 10,000 times over. So the reason this Jaguar fella was kicking ass in this scene is because he's trying to establish the location of a restaurant that Machiko works at. Machiko isn't the least bit interested in helping Jaguar, as we can tell by her "I don't give a fuck, go away" look. By this point, word has travelled back to Mia that Jaguar is working alongside Harry. So Mia sends some mafia goons and we're treated to some more ninja fights with Jaguar. This is followed by a few scenes of the two remaining ninjas fighting each other, along with some ear-bleeding combat moves. So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and fast forward through this because I want to save your ears as much as mine. Here we go, a scene I actually want to talk about. Jaguar has quite literally bumped into an old flame called Lily, and they immediately start nostalgia ploughing. Speaking of nostalgia, do you remember the time before the razor blade was invented? Look at that lovely unshaven pit. I bet it smells like the inside of a chef's hat after a busy dinner service. The important thing to take away from this scene is that this old flame is the girlfriend of Mia's right-hand man. And this spells trouble for Jaguar, but I'm sure he'll handle it just fine. Just like he manhandled this woman smuggling kittens under her arms. Knock knock, Harry. Who's at the door? Oh, it's a super impractical message delivery by way of a toy robot.
Traitor, listen. You have just 3 days to return the Golden Ninja Warrior to our master. Hear and obey.
Harry then gets a call from the same guy who sent the robot, just so he can reaffirm the threat. And you gotta ask, why go to the effort of sending the robots if you're just going to follow it up with a phone call? This scene feels completely pointless, but I'm glad to see the Garfield phone has returned. Perfect for the dark tone of a death threat scene. I just need to know why they decided to use a Garfield phone. Not just in this scene, but in the movie as a whole. Was it a deliberate choice, or just the only phone they had on location? I guess just don't think about it, because look, another ninja fight scene. Now this fight scene's actually significant, because it does move the plot forward. After kicking their ass, Jaguar kidnaps one of the bad guys, so he can use them as a ransom later. And even more significantly, this scene is important because it highlights the reason why sometimes slow motion doesn't always make things better. If you play this scene at normal speed, people may not notice the window smasher tool in this guy's hand. And also this actor here with his hand tucked in his sleeve. So yeah, but back to the ransom guy. While he's being held at ransom, Mia is planning a separate kidnapping of Machiko, also as a ransom. And then Jaguar calls in a deal to trade Machiko back for the drugs he stole from them. But then for some reason which just does not compute, he takes his hostage to a nightclub where he gets distracted by the kitten smuggler and the hostage makes a run for it. Yep, well done mate, nice one. Are you still following the story? Because I'm kind of struggling. So right, yeah, Jaguar's at this warehouse where he's being beaten up. And it's strange because the reason why they're beating him up is because he came without the drugs. Even though he was captured and brought here by force, and therefore couldn't have possibly brought the drugs with him, he still gets a beating.
Okay, bastard. It's my turn now to give you a taste of your own medicine. Ooh, you're really gonna pay. Do you remember how you locked me up in that hotel wardrobe for a few days? I tell you, you're not gonna forget that ever.
Well, aside from this injustice, Jaguar seems pretty chill about the situation. And as the old saying goes, if Jaguar no worry, I no worry. Anyway, I'm sick of Jaguar's cocky face at this point. Let's skip to some hot action. So you may remember earlier when I said Jaguar's old flame has a boyfriend who is one of the top dogs of the mafia. Well, this top dog's getting very insecure about the idea that Kitten Smuggler was recently with a dashing, ferocious Jaguar, and now she has to settle back to a sad, soppy pussy. So he's going to show her his idea of a good time, which looks more like he's giving her a physiotherapy session for a leg cramp. While he's busy checking her lobster cage for unwanted crabs, Jaguar has managed to escape. I don't know how we did this, and I don't think you care enough for me to rewind, do you? No? Okay, let's check on Harry. It appears Harry and his wife have been sent yet another videotape.
マクドナルドのサンキューセットはおかげさまで大好評。お好きなバーガーを選んで、お好きなドリンクを選んで、熱々ポテトがついて3点セットが今なら390円。いろいろ選べる嬉しいサンキューセットです。ありがとうのサンキューセット。マクドナルド。
Alright, so this is where this shit starts to get confusing, because Harry, using the Garfield phone again, calls Jaguar to tell him about Machiko being kidnapped. Now, unless I'm going crazy, Jaguar already knows about Machiko being kidnapped, so his surprise makes me surprised. So Jaguar kidnaps Lily and then goes to exchange her for Machiko. However, the Mafia has tricked Jaguar by having one of their goons dress in identical clothes to Machiko. And the real Machiko is still tied up at the base with a bomb attached to her. So Jaguar runs to set her free. At this point of the recording, my capture card has had enough of life. It starts to go all fucky when it comes into this scene here. And I'm really not surprised because I too feel like I'm about to slip into a digital coma. Luckily for my capture card and for us, we don't have much more of this movie to endure, and we'll soon get some very satisfying answers to questions we didn't really ask because we don't really care. These questions are: will Jaguar get his revenge on the Mafia? Who is the Ninja to Terminator? I'm serious about this one. We've come this far without knowing who the actual Ninja Terminator is. You know, the title of the movie. Are Garfield phones still for sale? And the last valueless question is, which of these three ninjas will become the ultimate ninja? I wonder. So here goes. Jaguar does get his revenge and kills Mia, and Mia turns out to be the Ninja to Terminator. Well, I'm pretty sure it's this guy. He sounds pretty much identical to the guy on the videotape.
Our techniques are dominant and unbeatable. Our style is unique and hypnotically elegant, and I'm the Ninja Terminator.
You're under arrest.
Jaguar, you'll be lucky. Leave.
The final fight scene with Ninja to Terminator was a real chore to get through. It's 5 minutes long and filled with the same sound effects you've been subjected to throughout the whole of this movie. Again, I do have to say the fight choreography is fun, but it's a very short-lived feeling. And this final fight had an especially weak ending. The Ninja to Terminator's weakness is sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere. That's the end of Jaguar's storyline. I don't think he gained anything, I don't think he lost anything, but away he goes. Now we need to know if the Garfield phone is still available. Well, it turns out they are, and I kind of want one. You know, just in case my doctor calls with some bad news about my liver. Well, let's have the final question of who the ultimate ninja is. It's Harry! Oh my god! In this very climactic fight scene, which is the actual final fight scene and not the Sandy Man one, the red ninja just explodes himself out of shame. And I can't remember which character the red ninja was. I think it's possibly this sensei dude from the start of the movie. I don't think it matters. And Black Ninja just kind of disappears from the scene. I don't suppose we're ever going to know what became of him. So now Harry has become the ultimate ninja, and we're going to get to see him do some awesome ninja oh, the movie's over.